Hello everybody, welcome to another quick video. Now you find us today on the shores of Berwick-on-Tweed, right on the border between England and Scotland, up in the northwest. And there's a lovely lighthouse just over there. What we're here for, we're actually doing a bit of a tour around, sort of getting out and essentially taking in some views in Scotland, so you're probably going to get a few videos from there as well. But just over there, in around about 2 hours, the moon's set to rise. So, what we're going to do, we're going to have a wander down, and I'm going to take my 40-150 f4 Pro with that teleconverter on, so just 40-150, see what sort of shots we can get, and then we're going to try and cover the moonrise, because if it does it right, as it cracks that horizon, it's the full, I think it might be a strawberry moon, something like that. I know they're giving some strange names, but it should look absolutely stunning, because it looks like for once we've got a clear night. So this might come off, might not, hopefully it will, but we're going to use 40-150, see if we can get some lovely shots out, and hopefully with this bit of a scene that we've got, it might just work. So I'm going to have a wander down to the lighthouse now, see what sort of shots I can get. Looking out over to the distance there, essentially you've got Lindisfarne, Holy Island, and a little bit further around you've got Bamber Castle, way off into the distance, so we're not going to grab that, but the light's just catching along the cliff edges, just along that area, so there's stuff to be had. So we're going to go and grab a few shots in, see what sort of things really sort of crop up essentially. We've never been here before, so it's just a bit of a scouting trip, see what turns up, and you never know, it might work quite well. But with the 40-150 on, I think it should be quite nice. So I've said this a few times recently as well to Tracy, I don't use this lens half as much as I should do, because it's a ridiculously good lens. Yes, it's not stabilised, but the results that you can get, I mean, to be fair, the OM1 input stability is pretty special anyway, so it's not really much of a problem. This lens is glorious. I mean, f2.8, you've got internal zoom, you've got cracking build quality, fantastic weather sealing. So yeah, it makes sense I'll use it a bit more. But I figured we're in this sort of area. Ideally, it's sort of stuff you want a little bit more reach. So we'll break it out, we'll have a bit of a play. So we've got probably a couple of hours before sunset, because ridiculously the sunset from here is about half an hour later than it is at home. So we've got a while yet. So we're going to get some nice long shadows coming in, some nice side light, and if we're really lucky, we'll get some nice shots as we're wandering down the pier. There's a chance we'll pick out something on the opposite shores. There's a chance there might be a little bit of wildlife involved as well, because this, at a push, we'll do a bit of wildlife as well. You've got equivalent full frame of 80 to 300. Yeah, you've got reasonable range, so yeah, we'll see what sort of things we can pick out. But we're just getting down to the end of the pier now, so let's get a wander in, and hopefully this is going to work out. You may have noticed I've not got a backpack or anything like that. Where has it been? I'll try and get things lighter. As you've seen in the last couple of videos, I'm working on sort of reducing the amount I'm carrying when I'm out and about. My reason being, well, I'm not getting any younger, and I'm struggling quite a lot. If I'm carrying a lot of weight for any sort of distance, my back absolutely kills me. I had a car accident, what was it now, 24 years ago? 25 actually now, and basically I broke my back, so it's always been a little bit weak, and essentially I've just got to be a little bit careful. Now I'm finding the more I'm sort of carrying around, especially on my back, the worse it gets. So best way to do it, make things lighter, and basically I'm taking out what I need. Essentially I've got the OM1 with a 40-150 on today. I've got the Osmo that I'm talking to you on with its battery and handle just in the bag, just in case I need it, and I've got my GX7 with the 12 to 32 on, just in the back, which weighs practically nothing. So yeah, nice lightweight setup, and it's not giving me any kind of grief, which means I can go and have a wander and keep making these videos for you. So hopefully you'll enjoy this one, and we'll see what sort of things the light decides to do. But I'm just looking now at a heron sat down there. I'm going to see if I can grab him. Hang on a sec. So at the minute we're heading out to low tide, which basically it's just opened up everything from the estuary here. Basically we're on the edge of the River Tweed, and this is essentially the harbour wall, which has got the lighthouse on the end. So I'm not going to be getting too close. Luckily we've got the 40 to 150, so we've not got massive sort of wide angle, but it gives us something to play with on that, and gives us the option for a little bit of zoom looking out after the other side as well, because frankly the cliffs are getting a lovely bit of light on them, so that will work. It is going to be a bit windy, as you may be able to pick up on the mic now, but that's part of basically walking out into the North Sea. It's going to do that, but nice shadows are forming at the moment. There's some lovely little crests on the waves as well, which the wind obviously gives you a little bit of extra. So I'll rattle off a couple of shots now and then carry on walking down towards the lighthouse. One little test I've just tried is actually using the live ND only at 1.3 seconds just to freeze a little bit of the motion of the waves, but just let it roll a little bit. So it looks a little bit like a bit of ICM, a bit of intentional camera movement. I think it works. I'll put the shot up in a minute for you, but obviously because this hasn't got stability, it's not like I'm using the 12 to 100 where I can go stupidly long exposures. I'm limited to what I can do. Although I'm zipping it to 150, just want to punch right into the crest on the waves. But I think it works. So let me know what you think. Yeah, is it worthwhile doing that? Do you think it worked? As you can see, using the handheld assist, you can see how much things are bouncing around. I mean, look at the dot in the centre, that's your main punch point for the stability. You can see how hard this is working, just holding it out like that in the wind. So you do have to be a little bit mindful. But I mean, the waves are beautiful. I'm going to grab a quick shot now. And as you can see behind me, that's how far away I've got to be to actually get a shot of the lighthouse with a lens at 40mm. This isn't a super wide angle, getting all the foreground in sort of lens. This is more sort of get tight in, pick out your subjects. It's kind of almost alien to me to be doing that, because most of the stuff I do, if I'm doing long lens, it's wildlife. I'm sort of punching in and getting deep into the wildlife side of things. But being able to sort of pick off things in the distance is really handy. Is it going to be for everybody to sort of go out and get your longer lens? Nah, not really. But if you want to sort of have a bit of a play, if you pick up one of the Olympus 40 to 150 plastic lenses, you can get them stupidly cheap. They're pretty clean. You're not getting all your weather sealing and stuff like that. You're not got your fixed aperture. But if you want to have a bit of a play with this sort of focal length, you don't need to go mad and buy one of these. You can go out and get one of those. It'll serve you just as well, but if you decide, right, yeah, that's something I want to really play with, go out and get the pro lens afterwards if you think you'd really benefit from it. I know Chris Bateson actually swears by his 40 to 150 plastic fantastic. So, yeah, it's not for everybody having the big pro lenses, but for me, I like the fact this goes to f2.8, and that's going to come in really handy later when we're messing around doing the moonshot. Because I think if I can get this right, with a little bit of the foreground in, possibly even some, if I can do it, incorporate having a bit of the lighthouse as a foreground with the moon coming up in the distance, it might come off really nice. But we're going to have a wander back to the van now, because frankly, it's very windy, a little bit chilly, and I could do with a brew. So, wander back up there, and next time we see you, I'll be getting ready for the moonrise. So, might be dark, I'll have an experiment with lighting, and see if I can actually make it so you can actually see me while I'm doing the video. Right, so we're set up. Essentially, I've got the tripod out. As good as I can get with the onboard stability with the M1, I'm not going to risk running literally just an in-body stability with running those sort of focal lengths. I don't think I'll be able to do it in these conditions. So, got the mini tripod out, the cracking little KNF one that I've got. I'm going to have a bit of a look out. There's a little bit of a bank of what looks like mist really where we're looking, but we're going to keep an eye out, see if we can sort of get the moon just as it starts to come up, and then see if we can play with the composition when I know exactly where it's going to be. Got a rough idea, but I can't be 100% sure until I see something just cresting over the horizon. But somewhere over there is going to be a nice little moonrise, but at the moment I've got to play the waiting game, so that's what we'll do. Now, I know there's no way you're going to see this on the video, but it's actually just coming up there, very hazy at the moment. But I think with a bit of pushing and pulling, it's going to come out okay. Basically, we know we've got a bit of colour going on. There's wildfires in Canada at the moment, and the smoke's basically coming across on the jet stream, and it's colouring up. The sunsets have been glorious, just like them. If I just spin around here, and you can make that out. The colour's still fantastic. I mean, the sun's been gone down for what, 20 odd minutes now, but the colour all out there has been absolutely beautiful. But yeah, the moon is starting to come through now, so I'm just grabbing the odd shot as it comes up. Focus wise, basically I use the magnify function on the OM1, lets you actually zoom right the way in, up to like 7 times, and you can basically then just tweak the manual focus. You know you got it absolutely spot on then. It's just an easier way of sort of doing it. If it was a big bright moon, yeah, you could use the Starry Sky AF, let it work it out itself, but I tend to do that. I've assigned it to a button on the OM1, so hit that, magnify in. Normally I'll start at 3 times zoom, check it, and then just use the back dial to zoom it in. It just means you almost guaranteed that you're going to get a nice clean image. So that's how I'll work on that. But yeah, that's starting to look quite pretty now. Hoping it'll sort of lift it a little bit more out of the little bit of haze that we've got going on. Sorry about the noisy crow in the background. It's wanting on the action. But yeah, I think we're going to get quite a nice look to this. Obviously, because of the way the lensing works, the lower on the horizon the moon is, the bigger it looks. So that's when you get the real sort of nice look to it. I would love to have it so it was in line with the lighthouse, because that would be absolutely fantastic. I'll just spin you around. Over there we've got the lighthouse, the moon's coming up just there. It would be absolutely brilliant if I could line those up, but pure logistics, I can't get to a point where that will line up with the moon. It just won't happen at the moment. But yeah, I doubt very much you're going to be able to make it out, but it is starting to come up quite nicely now. Let me just see if I can call it up on the camera. See if I can get that. There he is. So that's where we are. I'm essentially sort of pitching it over into the third and just using this. I'll probably be cropping that, so you'll lose some of this at the bottom there as well. But yeah, you can see the effect that I'm looking at, and hopefully you can work out how big the moon is on that. So you can see behind me now, the moon's coming up beautiful. Because obviously you've got that nice deep golden hue to it, it works quite nicely. The way that I've done it, I'm pretty much done shooting it now, I think. But basically there's a farmhouse over on the distance, which I've dropped onto the bottom third, moon up onto the top third, and I think it looks quite nice. It's, strictly speaking, it's not a perfect full moon. We're at about 98%. Full moon comes in just before it sets tonight, but essentially that is your strawberry moon shot with the 40 to 150. I think it is quite nice. But I'm going to get in now, have another brew, I think. Like I say, there's going to be a few more shots coming up now. Nothing spectacular, but basically just from when we had a little bit of a wander. And a few of the moon as it's been coming up. So hopefully you've enjoyed the video. And it's proven to you, yes, that is a stunning little lens in most conditions. But if you enjoyed the video, please do give us a big thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, hit subscribe, free of charge, but it means you see more of this sort of stuff from me every week. But from an absolutely glorious Berwick-on-Tweed, thanks for watching. We'll see you again next time. Take care.